Hello and welcome to this tutorial series. This is the first episode, I'm your host Cherry and let's get started. So, what will you learn in this episode? 1. You will create your first project. 2. You will understand the few basic core features of Unity. And 3. You will learn how Package Manager works and you will install a couple packages which will help you in your game development journey. It's better to take the time and install them early than find them later and take your time and spend a lot of time just adapting your project to fit to them, because they will in fact help you manage your project and speed up the development process. So, without any further ado, let's get started with the video. For this series we will be using Unity 2022.3.5 F1 because this is the long-term supported version of Unity 2022. It will update, so it should work on newer updates if you're later onto this series, but that's where I started and that's where this is designed for, so any problems, comment down below, I will respond. So let's start by going into the new project tab in the top right corner and selecting 2D core, not 2D URP, but 2D core. I will set my project name to demonstration project, but you can set it to whatever you want, and when you do that, just press create project and there we go, the project is being created and let's see you in Unity. Now that you have created the project, you will be greeted with this window. It will look something like this. Maybe the background on the scene will be different, maybe blue, probably blue. I have it set to a different color. And in the bottom section, you have your assets folder and your packages folder. That's basically where you have all of your project files. And for demonstration, I'm gonna put a music file from my own game, On the Wind's Breath, which is in the link in the description below. And as you see, it is loading in and it is going to appear in the assets folder right now, and it is there. It is visible on the right section, which is the inspector, which shows you what you are currently selecting and all the details about that file. You don't need to worry about the packages right now, it's not important. I don't even worry it in my project. Right now I have entered the scenes folder and I'm going to create an extra scene to demonstrate something, because scenes basically are the places that you place your objects in. For example, your map, your player and everything. And as you see in the top left corner, it is editing my name here, which means that I'm changing the scene which I am in, and all the scenes have separate objects and everything between scenes is separate. Now I'm going to create an object inside of the scene, so I'm going to go into the hierarchy view and create an empty game object. This game object has a transform component which basically manages its position, its rotation and its scale. It's shown in the inspector on the right, which you can see is also able to select all the other files that are in my assets folder. Now I'm going to create an extra object to demonstrate something. It will be a circle which has a sprite. Now I'm going to show you. I can move it to 0, 0, which is the center of the map, and if I press W I can select a move tool which I can now move around the map, and if I hold Ctrl it will also allow me to snap to grid. Now I'm going to show you that I can now scale the object, which will change its shape because I'm changing its scale. So I'm gonna just change its scale on the X by like 2. So let's just make it a beam. Now if I press E I can now rotate this. If I just rotate it with Ctrl, I have a snap to grid and I can now turn off the control so it doesn't snap to grid at all and it is a smooth rotation. I usually keep snap to grid because it makes it easier to keep the uniform values between all the objects. Now, I also have imported a file right now, which is an image which I can put into the sprite renderer object so it renders that image. Now, as you see, it was scaled weirdly, so I had to change the scale to 1 to 1 and change the rotation to 0, and now you can see it is imported properly and it is visible on your screen. I have selected the camera now, which will basically show you what the game is actually seeing, what you will be able to see as you play the game. The camera basically just is your game view. And as you see, there are two tabs now, which is the game view, which is what you are seeing inside of the game, and the scene view, which is, well, the scene. I can now move the camera to move the game view, and you can see it works, everything is fine. The background is blue because that's the thing what the camera is set to by default, as you can see in the background in the camera object. And now, if you see, it's scaled kind of weirdly, so if you want to stop that, you should probably just set it to 16:9 aspect, which is something that I always do when I make PC games. And now you can see it is going to scale to 16:9 no matter what happens. And what we are going to do now is go to assetstore.unity.com and install a couple useful assets. We'll start with colorful headers. This asset is really useful for organization. It's free, so it's really useful to install it. I will show you how to add it to Unity in a second after you buy it. At the button that I have open in Unity, you will have the button to purchase it. Now, the second one that we are going to install is going to be the Player Prefs editor. It is really useful since Player Prefs is the built-in system for saving data in Unity, and this allows you to edit these variables that are saved with Player Prefs in real time, anytime you want, which is way simpler than well, using code to do it. Now that we have them purchased, you can go into your Unity yet again. And now, before you actually install these packages, we will do one more thing. We will organize our project. We need to create a couple folders in the, well, assets folder, which will be, well, for scripts, for textures, for every asset that we need. We just gotta organize it properly so it's easy to find, which is very important to keep a good workflow. You can or follow the way I'm organizing it on screen, or you can organize it yourself. It's purely to your preference. Personally, I like keeping everything in separate folders. For example, in the scripts folder, I will have folders that will separate my player scripts from, let's say, object scripts from, I don't know, main menu script. And the same with music. I will have separate folders for menu music, level music, and all of that. And same with sound effects. Let's say I will have different sound effects for main menu, in-game, ambient, you know what I mean. Basically keeping everything labeled and in separate folders. It's a really good way to keep everything organized, since it just speeds up your development, since you don't have to search for every single asset, plus it is really clean. And now that we organized everything, I will show you how to install these packages. All you need to do is go into Window and then Package Manager. And now that you have opened your package manager, in the top left hand corner there's these packages. You gotta switch from in project to packages my asset. After you have selected packages my assets, you will see a list of the assets that, well, you purchased, which, well, for free, but still it counts as purchase. And now you will just need to download them and import them into your project. And it's as simple as that. Just follow what I'm doing on screen and you should be fine. I will explain how these packages work exactly and how to use them in future videos. It's simply that I rather you set up this now than you spend way more time trying to integrate your project with these packages, which is what I have done, and I absolutely regret spending a lot of time on that. So it's better to start early, you know, just have a base done. And one last thing that we are going to do in this video is we are going to set up version control. It basically allows you to go into old versions of your project. You just gotta go into window and version control and create an account in Plastic, and then simply just do exactly what I'm doing on screen, which is, well, create workspace. And now that we have done that, as you see, it has all of our files in project, and the green thing means that basically it's not uploaded yet, but it is noted by Plastic. We need to simply upload all of them, which means that we basically gotta press the big checkbox on top to select everything and check any changes. What I did here is, well, a mistake, but it doesn't really matter. Just select all of these files and then press check and changes. You have a comment section in the bottom, which you should probably fill out. I didn't, but you know, it's worth actually doing. It's the first commit, so it doesn't really matter. You won't have to select everything in future. It is just the first time, so actually Plastic can register what's happening. And yeah, it's as simple as that. So yeah, that would be probably about everything that I had prepared for you for this video. So hope you learned something new, hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. And now for a word from our sponsor, Unity Assets. Since we are talking about Unity, this video is sponsored by Unity Asset Store. They have a huge sale going on right now where you can save 50% off of all Greenworks assets. If you plan on buying anything, use my link from the description below. It takes you no time and it helps me out a ton. Anyways, thanks for watching, see you in the series, bye.